What's up, brother?
I think I get some feedback from you in here. Check, check. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm still getting that feedback. Let me do this. This is Mike. Let's see what we do about this. Check, check. Man, just let me ask you, how you listening to me?
Say it again, brother.
So how are you listening to me?
Through the mic on the phone, regular setup.
Through the mic on the phone? Okay. Let me see something. Mute yourself for a second. Check one, check two. Yeah, for some reason, when I come across, I'm coming across as an echo coming from your end.
Well, I'll just stay muted for the time being.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. When I start talking. So anyway, brothers, want to say what's up, man. Thank you for joining. Let's talk about your trip, man. How was your trip before we get into what we're going to talk about tonight? How was your trip?
Let me try something. Does that kill the echo?
Check.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. The echo is not as bad as it was a while ago.
Okay, so I put in my headphones just to see if that might help. But man, the trip was fun. I had a blast, man. Vegas is not Vegas with everything still kind of closed, but man, just had a good time. Good food, won a little money. Went over to Fremont Street. And, this time did the smart thing. Barely drank anything.
Right.
So had a different experience than the last time we went, which I still don't remember the first night we was there in Vegas. So my last trip.
Right.
But it was good, man.
Well, hopefully, if we go this year, hopefully you can join us because we do a men's trip, and it's very relaxing because we actually get to talk about a lot of men problems and solutions, and it's more of a getaway for us. And be honest, man, we go there, we really don't do too much of nothing besides go to the cigar bar, catch a little bit of Fremont, and we're able to talk about real men stuff. And for the last 2 years, it's been very therapeutic. So hopefully this year, we're scheduled to go the 1st of October this year. Any other people that want to go, please just hit me up and I can give you more details. But we usually go to celebrate Mac's birthday, which we'll be bringing him up shortly. But this time we're moving it towards October due to COVID and some other things. So,
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to go, brother. Because when I went to that cigar bar, man, that was about 3 hours of my life, man. That was some of the most peaceful, uncumbered, just wow. I can't really, and I'm an only child, so I'm used to having my alone time, and that took it to a whole nother level. Sitting there smoking on me a Romeo and Juliet 1875 Nicaragua with some nice cold glass alcohol, man, and absolutely no one speaking to me.
wow. And, and I'm gonna tell you, for those that don't even smoke cigars, it's not even back to cigars. Um, that place that you're talking about is in Caesar's Palace, and just sitting there is very relaxing. They got the TV bar, the monitors up there. As you stated, they got the bar, and even if you don't even smoke cigars, you're sitting there. It's so relaxing, and you still get the people watch if you're in the people watching because people constantly go back and forth because it's right in between the casino and all the stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, what's up there, Mr. Beasley? And Gwen, what's up there, Queen? Let's bring up Mr. Cows. Mr. Cows, how you doing today, man?
What's going on, gentlemen? All right.
My brother from another mother. How you doing, man?
Complain. I can't complain one bit. How y'all doing?
Same. Can't complain, brother. No need to.
I went out and voted today, man, and the those that voted, this is early voting. Please get out there and do your civil duty. Don't wait till the goddamn last minute to go vote and stand in them long lines. And as you notice, on the last day, it's always some issues. Always some issues. But yeah, I went and voted, man, and I got to start paying attention to the Railroad Commission. For some reason, I always overlooked that. And there was two people running for Railroad Commission. Last time it was George Bush's, one of his relatives that was running for Railroad Commission. But Railroad Commission has a lot of influence, and I got to look more into that seat and see what's so important about the Railroad Commission. What I do know is everything when it comes to the railroad has everything to do with the EPA, to everything that comes up and down that thing, because we had a spill there about a year ago, and they did investigation, but everything had to go through the railroad industry. The railroad industry controls the mineral rights, they control the EPA, they control a lot of things. So I need to see what's so important about their position and how much influence that it has. Besides that, gentlemen, I want to talk about what's going on. To y'all that's joining, thank you for joining. This is the Real Man Talk with my co-host John Davis and Matt Cowles. We've got special guests coming up shortly, but I want to inform you all of the great celebration, the great American celebration that's coming up this week. But I want you all to be informed of some possible issues. So I'm gonna play this short video right quick, just so you can see it. To those that's friends with me on Facebook, I sent it to you all. But I'm gonna
go ahead and follow, comrades.
Oh, hold up. I'm gonna play
it. This is an early alert of supposed activity.
I'm gonna play it for those who probably didn't get it. I didn't see it, and it's about 4 minutes. Do this, okay. Okay, gentlemen, can y'all see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, we'll play this right quick.
Alert as follows, comrades. This is an early alert of supposed activity this weekend on the 4th of July that will cause harm to our people on a very large scale. The Huey P. Newton Gun Club has received intel from two credible sources that multiple white nationalist groups / militias are planning a nationwide.
Facebook is trying to stop me from showing it, I guess. Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Look like Facebook just jumped in and stopped me from showing it, but I will post it in the chat and you can catch the video. And if it comes back up, I'm gonna show you.
Comrades. This is an early alert of supposed activity this weekend on the 4th of July that will cause harm to our people on a very large scale. The Huey P. Newton Gun Club has received intel from two credible sources that multiple white nationalist groups / militias are planning a nationwide attack on all of our people over the 4th of July weekend. The sources could not confirm the motives of the nationalists, but they might be tied to the events that have recently happened with the taking down of Confederate symbols across the United States and the retaliation against police brutality across the United States as well. We as a preparedness group should take this threat very seriously for two reasons. One, for the events that have sparked the epicenter in Minnesota with the murder of George Floyd, and the sudden spike of Klan recruitment in the southern states the past 3 months. Please Do not take this threat lightly. Okay. Over the past couple of months, there has definitely been a spike in recruitment in this area. It is my job to pay attention to these things, and I have. There's also been an uptick in rhetoric online, threats from these different militia groups. And again, this is not a training exercise. This is real. The threat is real this weekend. Take precautions. When you're out and about with your families, you should avoid large crowds of people, which shouldn't be hard because we're still on coronavirus protocol. So staying away from large crowds should be easy. Most of the fireworks events and so forth, I believe, have been canceled. If not, you may want to consider staying away from those things. And I know, like myself, we're not celebrating the 4th of July, but I know people and their children like to see fireworks and maybe want to go out anyway. I would advise you not to do it while you're out. Be on the lookout for anyone that looks suspicious. Yeah, a white person wearing a coat or anything that doesn't look appropriate for the weather because they might be carrying a firearm up under that jacket or whatever. Also, any packages or anything like that that might be sitting around with no one attending it. Just like we announce in the airports, if you see a package, no one around it, get away from it. Avoid being near trash cans, trash bins, things like that, because these white nationalists and white supremacists have been known to put bombs inside those things with nails in them and things like that. So the bottom line is protect your family at all times. Be on the lookout. We all should be on a heightened state of awareness anyway with everything that's going on around the country right now. But this weekend, you need to be on an extra high state of alert. This threat is real. This is not some conspiracy theory or anything like that. This information comes from credible sources down through the Hewitt Community Gun Club. And it is important that you take whatever steps you deem necessary to protect yourselves and your families. If you have any questions, uh, feel free to inbox me. This weekend, I will be available. I will be in town. I was planning on going out of town, but I will not. I will be in town the entire weekend. We are on a high state of alert. Again, everybody should be safe out there. And again, take this threat very seriously.
So, brothers, all year we've been talking about, getting prepared and being ready. And we also been doing the gun talk, trying to get people just, prepared just in case something happened for our self-defense. And we've been seeing this going on throughout the year, just different things in regards to a lot of the police is quitting. The police are quitting, they're joining some of these groups. We also know some of the KKKs pretty much are infiltrated within the government, whether it's the judges, whether it's the lawyers. And just wanted to ask y'all, what do y'all think about the message that the brother just gave us in regards to what may happen, as well as do you see it as being a credible source? And do you think it's more of a fear thing, or do you think it's something that we probably need to take seriously?
Well, myself personally, I take it with a grain of salt, and I mean that strictly from the standpoint you should always be prepared. You should always have a weapon, whether it is a handgun, a rifle, assault rifle, knife, baton. You should never leave the home without a self-defense weapon. I agree with what he's saying. Be a very cautious nature right now because the rhetoric has gone to a point where they're not just speaking violence, they're enacting violence. So as black people in this country, and I'm probably gonna get some bad things said about me about this. It's time out for sitting there wishing on a white Jesus to protect us from a white man that they invented anyway. We need to protect ourselves. Quit worrying about praying the evil away because evil ain't gone away in over 600 years in this country. So what the hell are you worrying about some phantom in the sky to protect you against some Klansmen? Get your ass a gun and protect your family.
Hey, well said, well said, Mr. Cowles. Listen to Sean and listen to the good brother speak. What is your thoughts and your opinions?
Well, I actually kind of support Sean's viewpoint as far as being vigilant. We should always be vigilant. What he's saying is nothing new. We should be alert. I mean, we should be alert always. There's always a threat. There's never been a day that a black man's life is not threatened. So just say that they have this gathering to do something more. It's not a big deal. There's always a threat. So I take it serious. I respect what he's saying, but for me, it's every day. It's another day. I'm going out there and I'm prepared for whatever. You know, I think I shared with you before last week. I got stopped by a cop for no reason, and the cops, not all cops, but there's a great amount of cops that are support KK activity or beliefs or that racist mindset, and it's so we experience this every day. So it's not a big deal, man.
Let me ask you, do you care to talk about that experience that you had? With the police pulling you over?
Man, it's just another experience that almost every black man has experienced or will experience. Driving while black, get stopped for no real reason and getting harassed. I've been stopped by cops before, and it's always the exact same thing. Where you going? Want to see? Why you over here? What are you doing over here? Where you stay at? All kind of questions, man. So we experience it, man. We follow every black man has been harassed by cops at least a dozen times.
And what I thought was fascinating was I remember you and I talked about this as well as we had Constable Smith on here. I think within 2 weeks ago, and he was asking questions in regards to that. And shortly after this, when this incident happened, and as you was telling me the incident, it was really getting under my skin because people hear us, but until you actually experience that and get pulled over and get questioned and grilled the way we get questioned and grilled, it's very insulting, very embarrassing, it's degrading, and especially when it's for what I call a bullshit traffic stop. If you're pulling me over for a traffic stop, why are you asking me all these questions? Why are we going back and forth? It should be something as simple as you go write me a citation or you go give me a warning, but all these other questions, it don't make sense. And it's almost like it's pressing your button to see how you go react. And
that's what it is. It is a psychological training that I don't know about any other police force, but I can tell you honestly here in Tulsa, TPD has been trained to ask questions in a varying manner to judge your reaction to those questions.
Yes.
Those questions then your reaction to those questions are then looked at, and then that gives them an indication of deceit or truth, and then they build on those into other questions. You know, that's why they start asking where you going, where you coming from, where you live. Okay, they want to get a baseline for you. Then they jump in, well, you got any drugs in the car? Got any guns? They do it in a playful manner. Got any grenades, rocket launchers? Got 10 kilos of cocaine in the car? No, I don't, sir. Okay, well, then you don't mind me searching. Well, yes, I do mind you searching because you have no probable cause to search. Well, then as soon as you stand up and understand that you don't have to let them search, then they want to take that as, well, he's refusing to search the car, so get the dog.
Get the dog.
And then it becomes an escalated situation. It's not by chance that they ask those questions. It is set up as a way for them to gauge how you are interacting with them, and they base that interaction on what they do next. And as long as you stay calm, and what my thing has always been, I just straight up ask them, what's the relevance of these questions for what you stopped me for? And if you cannot give me and I'll tell them, if you cannot give me a legitimate reason why these questions pertain to why you stopped me, then don't ask them, because I'm not going to answer them. You need to give me my citation and allow me to move on with my evening. If they don't want to, at that point, they either have to go ahead and proceed with what they're doing or cut you loose,
Yeah.
because there's no reason for them to ask those questions, and it is not constitutionally bound for you to answer those questions. And you can just tell them it's not relevant. What does where I'm coming and where I'm going have to do with what I did now? It is not relevant.
Yeah. One thing I did do was I filed a complaint, and the lieutenant called me back like the same day. And we talked about 15, 20 minutes on the phone, and he told me those line of questions that they asked was legal.
It is legal.
It's legal, and it's called guilt probing questions. And he labeled it as guilt probing questions. And I was like, what are the guilt probing questions? He was like, well, these are questions that we try to determine what's going on and why, just different questions. And I'm like, it kind of similar to what you said, is that they have the authority to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we don't know what we can answer, what we should not answer. And they know this. But I said, when he asked me this question, I was getting upset. I mean, I was getting angry. I ain't gonna lie, I was getting angry.
Do you care to discuss some of the questions that they were asking? That he were asking?
Some of the questions were, again, it's basic questions, man. Like, where are you going? Where are you coming from? Who are you going to see? Where do they stay at? What's the address? What are the names? They live in a house. They live in an apartment. Just a lot of questions about everything. He asked me if I was in the service. He asked me if I had a weapon. He asked me my address several times, even though he had my ID card in his hand. He was like, still, what's your address? I just want to hear you say it. I say, but you have my card, and it's all up to date. It's all accurate. Why are you asking this question? I just want to hear you say it. And it was like, at that point, I was started getting angry, man. I was like, this is some BS. But again, as Black men, I don't know, no Black man has not experienced that several times. And the thing about the police, they know that they have the right to ask those guilt probing questions, do some BS, but it is what they're able to do. And just like you said, Sean, they ask these questions to get a baseline. The questions he was asking, he knew the answers to most of them.
Yeah, all it simply is a way for them to get to gauge your reaction, because they're trained in the physical to physically identify body change and your physical change. So when they're asking you what your address is, and they know the question is the answer to that question, they're looking at your reaction. And then when they're talking to you, they'll just jump in without, any words. Okay, so what's your address again? And then you'll give them your address. Oh, any guns in the car? Any knives, bombs, grenades, anything like that? They're simply setting you up to see what your reaction is going to be when they ask something that can incriminate you. And if they get the wrong reaction, whether you're just being nervous and you have nothing to hide, then they say, okay, well, he's hiding something. Because it's been too many times I've been pulled over by a cop and he's asked me the question and I've answered him truthfully, didn't have nothing to hide. But because I started getting irritated, they take that as a sign of deceit. And when they pick up a sign of deceit in their understanding of what it is from body language, then they can then justify detaining you for further investigation or further processing of your vehicle. So again, what I tell them, I don't understand what the relevance of these questions are. Where I'm going and where I'm coming from is of no concern of yours. You pulled me over for what reason? Oh, I didn't turn my right turn signal on. Okay, then here's my ID, here's my insurance and my registration. Provide me either a warning or a citation, and I will show up to pay my citation in court and be done with it. These other questions are irrelevant, and you have no need to ask those.
So we definitely have to be careful with some of the things that we answer, because they can be self-incriminating, and they know
Yes.
that. And that's just a whole nother conversation that you got to fight in the court of law. But based off the video we just watched, I want to bring up my next good brother, Brother Amun. Brother Moon was just here. He just stepped out. I guess he come back. We got to definitely be careful with how we respond to those questions, because, like I said, it's backstage, they're probing questions, and they're just looking for something to pretty much jam you up.
That's it.
Like you're damn if you do and you're damn if you don't.
And I think that's the frustration of what that a lot of black men have, is that when you do right, you still get treated wrong. So you do wrong. It's like there's no way that we can win. So for me, when he stopped me, I was like, okay, here he goes with his BS. They gave me some BS. Again, man, this is kind of why it just caught, man. They have too much authority, man, and they have these laws that's very vague and they're not clear. And so when they say something, it's like, well, that's not really fair, but it's authorized questions. They're authorized to do wrong. It's so much.
And I will suggest that everybody in this that's listening have a basic understanding of what your police department's rules are, what they can ask, how they can ask, what your statutory charges are available, what is the civil code. If your police department in your city, they'll post that freely for you to have and understand, get an idea. When you get pulled over, understand in your city's police department what they can ask you, what they can require of you, what is necessary. And I will always say, when you get pulled over, immediately ask for a supervisor to be present for the rest of the interaction. When that supervisor is called, by law, they are to stop whatever is going on as far as the interaction between yourself and them until that supervisor is on scene. So always ask for a supervisor if you feel you need that. Now, it's not a necessity, but please always have that in mind, that when the cop pulls you over, when you ask for a supervisor, they have to stop talking to you. They have to let you alone until that supervisor arrives.
Now, that's good advice and good insight, but also as hindsight, because the supervisor can be just as worse as the goddamn cop that pulled you over.
That is true. That is very true. And I'm not saying it's going to change the outcome of the situation, but now you have put that individual on notice that you are not just going to take whatever they offer for, you just ain't going to take their bullshit. Excuse my French, but you're just not going to roll over and take their bullshit. There's going to be some kind of record of what's going on. And it also helps you because that supervisor can show up, interpret the situation differently, and the outcome is different. Now, I'm not saying that's always the case. That supervisor can show up and be a bigger redneck racist than the one you're dealing with. But now you have competing stories as to what occurred.
Right. Well, I think we have to talk about this more. We'll do that in another segment. But for this show, I want to bring Brother Moon up. And as you know, when you're dealing with people that have boots on the ground, they take upon a completely different role. I have a lot of respect for this brother because he does a lot of things that other people don't do. Not only that, his military background, me being in the Army, us going to different places, occupying this place is completely different when you got the Marines clearing away for you. pretty much they make our life much easier once we get on the ground. So based off his Marine experience and background experience, he has a lot of good insight. So what he's gonna do is pretty much share with you all the video that I showed earlier with good brother giving us a heads up, as well as what you can do to be prepared. And you need to be prepared. Even if nothing happens, you still need to prepare, because bottom line, a lot of people don't realize, don't want to accept it. There is a war going on. And I think we're kind of oblivious to it, but it's a war going on. And because of that, I want to bring Brother Moon up, and I want to thank you for taking your time out, brother. I want to ask you first of all, how's your day going? How are you doing?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, brothers. How y'all doing? First of all, I first want to say thank you again for having me on the show. Now, in regards to what I posted earlier, it was actual intel from one of my comrades in the adjacent unit known as the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, to where he received intel saying that on the 4th of July, there was going to be white militias actually looking to take strategic hits on those in our community. So with that being said, I said in the video that everybody needs to be on guard, especially this weekend. If you're a concealed license carrier, if you have a license, you need to carry. You need to be close to your family. I highly discourage anybody going to any fireworks events. It's perfect cover. I also expressed that this is a perfect scenario for them to hit us if they wanted to. They have all the motivation they need. Confederate monuments are being taken down left and right around this country. And they're actually getting ready to, I think they're getting ready to do something to Mount Rushmore too. So all of their history is basically getting wiped out. And they're not liking that one bit.
And
as a person that the history is, sir.
I was gonna say, you're exactly right, because actually here in Houston, we took down some. And today in Richmond, Texas, which is about 20 minutes down the street from me, they just pulled down one as well.
Yeah, they're doing it all around the country. They're actually doing it all around the world. So with that being said, even with the coronavirus, let's talk about that. Who you think they're blaming on the rise in the spike in coronavirus exposure right now?
Black folks.
Your fault. Never mind that it was a white disease to begin with. Never mind that it started in Wuhan, China. It came into America and it hit the black community, and for some reason, I guess we are alleged amplifiers of this disease now. So they got coronavirus increase, which messed up the economy. They got the Confederate statues. They got the history being touched on now. They got everybody in the world talking about how North America really is. So now you're looking at a pretext for war. I've heard white folks everywhere saying famous slogans like the South Shiraz Men. And I've been hearing that more and more and more. I've been listening to, I was talking to my cousin earlier, and she was talking about her good white friend that she later found out today that wasn't such a good white friend. When we were talking about black people, what needs to happen to them is what's going to happen to them is going to be worse than slavery. The only one thing worse than slavery, and that's death. So with that being said, our militias, my brothers and sisters that's been in the militias have been warning the nation since we've been doing this. Gear up, prepare yourselves, get ready. This is serious. But our people get to the point that it ain't serious until it's looking you dead in the face. By then it's too late, fam.
Mm-hmm.
By then it is way too late. It's too late for me to take you on the field and train you. It's too late. As the war pops off tomorrow, you think I'm gonna be looking to train? I ain't gonna have time.
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying? So other stuff that we've been telling people, you need to prepare. The basic essentials. I call them beans, bullets, and bandages. If you don't have a whole, if you don't have a whole bunch of these, you in trouble. And I'm just gonna be real with you because you can't go to the academy now and buy $9.
No.
I tried it. I got to the point I said I'm gonna buy bullet press because you literally cannot buy 9mm bullets anywhere. They bought them all.
Now, let's talk about that, Brother Moon, because you have a lot of things to talk about, but I want to make sure our people are informed. And regardless of what you just stated, this started way back in February and March. And matter of fact, I think we talked about this several times on the Real Man Talk show. And I actually was looking for ammunition as well as weapons. And there was a time where they opened it back up and was able to find ammunition. There are still places you can find ammunition. But the brother brought up a good point. When I was in the store, there were people that was buying guns just to be buying guns. And they didn't have any ammunition for these guns. A rifle or a firearm if you don't have any ammunition for it. So there are some sites you can go to. I want to share it to people. I went to a site actually Thursday or Friday and got it in Monday. It was dirt cheap? Cheaper than dirt?
Cheaperthandirt.com. There's also budk.com. There's there's ammousa.com. If you guys want a complete listing of about 20 different websites, I can put a list together. I literally paid an extra $100 for shipping, priority shipping, so I could get 45, 9mm, and 380 ammo, and I got 500 rounds of between three of them. So there's plenty of websites out there. Now, right now, you are going to pay a markup on it higher than what you would expect, but there's plenty of places, and there are some websites right now that have guns in stock that you can buy, and they're not much more than what you would pay on the average market price. So if people need some websites, reach out to me, and I will definitely get you a list of those. But Brother Moon, I totally agree with what you're saying. At this point in our lives, we need to quit being pacifists and take up the defensive. We don't have to go out there and start the violence, but damn it, if they come with it, we better bring it to them with all the heat that we got in our bodies. We are not punks. We are not weak. We have no reason to be. We are black people that have been gone through so much and we have survived. It's time for us to quit trying to wait on Jesus and get our reward in heaven and start taking what is deservedly ours right now. Be prepared. Quit sitting around thinking it can't happen to you when it can.
Right. To what Brother Sean said, you also can go to the Real Man Talk and look at the videos and go to Gun Talk. And in some of the videos in Gun Talk, we talk about some of the websites. We talk about some of the guns. We've been talking about this actually all year. Matter of fact, since January, we've been talking about this. Brother Moon, he's been recruiting, he's been training for the last couple of years. There's only so much we can do. And I want to do this show because, once again, we're always the last people to know things. So I want to make sure that people are informed in case something do pop off, at least you're informed. So that's why I want to have this segment to bring this good brother on. So as he stated, and he's right, you're not probably going to find that in the academy and these other sports stores unless you already got these particular weapons. But that current ammunition that most people get as far as the normal use is 9mm, 5.56, 38s. They're going to be very hard to find. Even some of the 12 gauge, I couldn't find no 12 gauge slugs a couple months ago. Since then, I've been able to stock up.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've been able to stock up. And what I do now, and thank my brother, Mr. Castle, reminded me, every month I make a conscious effort to invest in ammo. Every month I make a conscious effort to invest in something in regards to survival. I don't care if it's MREs, I don't care if it's a weapon. You have to invest because, once again, as you see what's going on right now, people are lined up in the unemployment line, about hundreds. And as you see now, the groceries are going back up. Toilet paper is going back up. Matter of fact, my girl went to the store. Toilet paper was $30 for a bundle of toilet paper. Now, we didn't get it. We put it back because we already got stuff. But once again, that's how much prices are going up to these things that it was regular price about a week ago.
Now, if I may say, this is a distraction. They're driving the prices up on a lot of other stuff, so you take priority on certain things that in reality are not a necessity, so to speak. So if you're more worried about keeping toilet paper, paper towels, in some steaks in your freezer, you're not worried about spending that money on ammunition. You're not worried about trying to buy a weapon. You're more concerned about Lysol cleaning supplies. Then when something really pops off, you know, okay, God forbid anything happens, but let me tell you this: if anything jumps off, and that man come knocking at your door at 3 o'clock in the morning with that AK-47, are you gonna Lysol him away? No, you're gonna be ass out. So you need to get you a gun. You need to understand what a gun can do to protect your family. And
Yes.
and I'm kind of shifting off subject here, and forgive me, but I want my black men to quit glorifying certain types of guns and get more diverse in what you buy. You can have that 9mm Glock. That's a fine gun for defense. But if them grocery stores closed, you're not gonna hunt too much with that. Make sure you got you a good rifle that you can sustain meat with your for your family. Make sure you have a shotgun that allows you not only to hunt, but also have close battle combat with that sucker. Be diversified in your weapons. Just don't go get you a pistol and think everything is hunky dory. Have a selection. And if you really want to be nice about it, go get you a crossbow. Go get you a compound bow. Because right now I can go out in the woods. I can hunt with a compound bow. I can go to get a deer. I can get a squirrel. I can go stand on the edge of the lake and I can go shoot me some fish. My family's gonna eat. So be diversified in what you have available for home defense and for your personal
Right.
use.
Good point. Good point. Brother Mon, you
Yes.
started off talking about some of the things that people need, and I know you started off talking about ammunition and weapons. What's some of the other things that probably they need to consider in regards to purchasing? And I want to also make this be known: we're not driving fear. Once again, we're not driving fear. We just want people to be prepared and aware. That's all
If, first, I'm going to apologize because for some reason the signal's going in and out over here, and
it is. Not a problem.
I can catch on something, so I'm trying to follow as I go along. But so far as the bare essentials, fruits and vegetables, first of all, because it doesn't expire half as fast as meat. Secondly, get water, a lot of it. Thirdly, there are these things that they sell at the military surplus store called Meals Ready to Eat, or MRE. It's basically dehydrated food. It can last you up to 20 years. One box. Okay. Matter of fact, when I go get my stash again, I'll even do a class online about how to cook in MRE. You want to survive life. You want to survive a night with a magnesium strip in case you need to make a fire. You also want to get a water purification kit, just in case. In the event of a tactical situation, I love what the brother was saying about glamorizing certain types of weapons. I'm a gun enthusiast, but at the same time, my gun serves several purposes. Like for example, this one right here, my baby right here, that is my 308. It's a sniper rifle, but it's also a good hunting rifle. If you don't like guns, which I don't know why black people should not like guns these days, especially, you need to learn to like guns. You need to get used to them as much as possible. Train as much as possible. You can get a crossbow also if you want to be quiet. But with what we're facing right now, you want to definitely get a firearm, not just a pistol, rifles. Because when these people come to your door, or if they come to your door, or if they come to your events, they're coming with rifle, not pistol. Not the little Glock that everybody's rapping about. They're coming with an AR-15, AK-47, 308 Lapua, 12 gauges, semi-auto type, things of that nature. We need to be familiar with a multitude of weapons. And as much, like I said online, as much as we Google stuff and YouTube stuff, our community especially, if we can do that, we can Google what natural point of aim is. We can Google site alignment. We could Google site picture. We could Google movement to contact. We can Google life-saving steps, like the 4 life-saving steps, which is start the breathing, stop the bleeding, protect the wound, treat for shock. We can Google how to fix a second chest wound, how to heal a flesh wound, how to apply stitches, stuff that is necessary and conducive to our survival at this present point in time. We have zero time to be playing anymore. If we could sit up there and debate about nonsense about what religion is and all this other crap, which has no validity at all with our survival at this present point in time, surely we could be talking about the difference between a 7.62, a 5.56, a 2.23, or a 9mm round. We could discuss why I'd rather a 5.56 in my combat load over a 2.23. And if you can get body armor, get body armor. If you're not a felon in the state of Texas, you can't wear body armor. You don't need a special license. All you got to do is walk your happy behind down to the dog store and get some. Put it on your body. Get used to it. We have to, and I also said that we need to be physically fit. This is war. I tell people you need to be in shape, and I ain't talking about a circus. Because at the end of the day, you got to be able to run a city block. This fight's going to be block to block if it comes. And if one of your brothers get hurt, you got to be able to pick him up and run with him. While he's returning fire, you got to move with him. Your wife's hurt, you got to pick her up. If you're hurt, she got to be able to at least drag you out of the way. We have taken too much time, not taking much consideration to what we should have been considering for quite some time. And I hate to see that our people are finally getting the picture right when doomsday is around the corner. That's too late. That is too late. We chuck jive, play around, walk down the street, protest, all that cute stuff. But I was watching this whole thing. I was watching the whole thing as it happened. I saw the white folks getting mad. And okay, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I know what comes next. See, the thing is, we want to spark a match so bad. When you spark a match, you always get ready for that fire thing. The fire is here now. This is the only thing they understand at this point. This right here. This is the only thing they're going to understand. And if we don't get it to our heads, we need to and do what we have to do as a people. Just defend yourselves. I mean, can you defend your own home? Do that. We'll work on the rest later. But right now, if they jumped off and did something to us right now, I cannot say in full confidence that my entire nation will be able to repel that assault. It's not true. We're looking at another Rosewood massacre.
Brother Ma, let me ask you, because I know you and your people, as well as some of the other organizations, was out there, boots on the ground when they was protesting in regards to George Floyd. What was some of the rhetoric that you was hearing from some of the white nationalist groups that was out there? And thank you once again, man, for protecting the brothers and sisters while you was out there. But what was some of the rhetoric that you was hearing from them?
I'm sorry, I'm not really tracking what you're saying. Say that again.
During the George Floyd protest, you was out there, you and your organization had boots on the ground, and you was out there helping to protect some of the brothers and sisters. And the white nationalists came out there. And what was some of the rhetoric that y'all was hearing from them as they was out there trying to cause disturbance? Okay, we'll see if we can get Brother Amon back in a minute. But in regards to what he's talking about, once again, we have to be prepared. And as I stated earlier, it's not to drive fear. Once again, we just want people to be prepared. And we've been talking about this all year, and it's slowly coming to play that, things is coming, it's coming, and I hope it don't come, it is what it is. Things is falling in place. Brother Mon, do we have you back?
I'm so sorry about that, Tom.
That's all
I
right.
don't know what's going on.
Was you able to understand the question I was asking when he was out there?
It's the reception's okay. It's still coming in and out. I caught some of the question.
Okay.
If you're talking about in regards to the protest in Third Ward that my unit got dispatched to.
Right. Correct.
Okay. We got a call. Well, I got a call that day saying that there was a possibility of white extremists going to a protest in Third Ward. So I said, okay, I'm going out there because Third Ward, of course, is a black community. That is black national interest. So that is Anubis interest. When I went out there, the first thing I was looking for was a group called Antifa. And then they're usually a bunch of little white kids dressed in all black with masks on their face. They're easily identifiable, have goggles and everything, and backpacks. They're ready to cause some mayhem. So we spotted them. My unit spotted them. And we kind of let them know that if you so much to go dog on bottom around Third, we from there we followed them for a while to make sure they weren't doing anything out of the ordinary in Third Ward. What they did in the medical center, not my concern. What you do in Third Ward, that's my concern. So basically, that's what happened that day. There was another white extremist group in there. They had Hawaiian print shirts.
Yeah, you got a bad signal. Okay. So anyway, to the people that's out there, I proposed a question. I asked, what have y'all been doing to prepare in case the government shut down, as well as there is no protection, which we barely have protection anyway to come out to protect you. I proposed that to the people on Facebook that's listening. And as Brother Mon talked, if you could respond, I'm just curious to what you all are doing. Go ahead, Brother Mon, finish what you were stating in regards to the other group that came out. And when the other group came out, y'all was dispatched to the other group. How did that turn out?
Okay, there was another group out there called Boogaloo. And it sounds funny, but that's their actual name. Mm-hmm. They had Hawaiian print shirts on it. That's a white extremist group also. And basically what they do is they attach to Antifa to enforce mayhem. That's their whole purpose. It's an anarchist group. That's what they do. And they actually tie in directly to Black Lives Matter. They're the same people. They're both owned by George Soros. We kept telling people this, and they think we're slinging mud at them. I'm not slinging mud at Black Lives Matter. I'm telling you the truth. Wow. This is who they are.
So let me ask you this, brother, because a lot of people probably don't know what they look like. You described the Antietam. As far as this other group, can you say the name again, and what apparel do they wear, and how do they stand out?
Yeah. Antifa, you'll know them because they're dressed in all black. Usually they have masks over their faces. Look like little white kids, little young white kids, little skateboarders, you can tell. And if you notice in every protest from Minnesota all the way through Houston, you saw those same little kids with dressed in black, goggles on their head, backpacks and everything like that, walking around in little groups, little packs. And they were always infused with a large group of black folk, and they'd be the main ones tearing up stuff. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, what we didn't see. There were some instances, even in Minnesota, and those people that was doing, was tearing up stuff. When Antifa was tearing up stuff, there was reports of fight between the people that lived in Minnesota and Antifa. They're not on our side. Mm. Actually, they're on the side of the Democratic Party. Let's just be honest. They're on the side of the Democratic Party. Okay, George Soros is a huge Democratic supporter. And I said it all the time. It's the ultimate campaign slogan for Biden. If you want to dog give a campaign slogan, who can solve this mess? Vote for me. Look at all the chaos that Trump is causing. And I'm not a Trump supporter either. I don't like him either. But I'm just telling the truth now.
Wow, wow. The other group, once again, brother, you said the Antigua, they have goggles and backpacks. The other group that's attached to them, how are they dressed and what apparel do they have on? And I missed that.
Boogaloo is identifiable, but they wear a lot of aloha shirts.
Okay.
The little Hawaiian shirts, Hawaiian style shirts.
Okay.
Some of them. And some of them were in actual military gear.
Okay.
I saw one in a ghillie suit, which you don't know what a ghillie suit is. That's basically what snipers wear in the Marine Corps. Yeah. It was one guy dressed in a full ghillie suit, and I looked at him and I went, really?
Wow.
But yeah, it was actually dressed in a ghillie suit, and he was attached to them. He was walking with them. They all had backpacks looking like they were going to do something. Some of those backpacks were heavier than others, so I assumed that they had weapons in them.
Okay. Another question I'm going to ask you, brother.
But this is what we're facing.
Say that again.
This is what we're facing. It's called a temperature check.
Brother, based off your experience and some of the things that you have done and witnessed, due to this weekend that's coming up, once again, some people still celebrate the holiday. What are some of the areas that you predict that this may take place at in Houston or across the country?
Say that again, please.
In regards to the celebration that's coming up, the 4th of July celebration that some may still partake in, what are some areas that you see that this may take place in around the country?
You said what are that?
Okay, yeah, we lost him again. So anyway, I was trying to get the brother to talk about some of these areas that some of these people would take place at. But early in the interview, he stated, once again, try to stay away from large crowds. And I want him to actually point out some of these areas that some people may be partaking in regards to the celebration, come to disclose some of those areas. Brother Amon, if you're back,
Oh, okay.
if you could talk about some of them locations.
Some of these areas. You said some of the areas that these attacks could possibly take place in? Is that your question?
Say that again, brother. Say it again.
Are you there?
Okay. Can you hear us, Brother Amon?
I could barely hear you. Let's see.
Okay. Well, once again, we was able to get them on bad connection, but once again, you all just be safe. We got less than a minute. I'm gonna try to bring them on. See if we got them on. Brother Amon, do you hear us?
I'm here. I'm in backstage.
Okay. If you would go on and talk about your last point in regards to some of these areas that these people may try to incite these riots at.
Public gatherings like the 4th of July celebration when they're getting ready to pop fireworks. Stay away from there. Whatever you do. Discovery Green, stay away. They might even come to an Emancipation Park. They might try something over there. Anywhere there's a large concentration of us, try your best to stay away. We got to remember they're trying to make a statement. All right, it's the perfect day for them to do this. Independence Day, with all the stuff being taken down and all the stuff that they're mad about. And what was Independence Day based on? The revolution. So with that being said, they're going to try to spark another one if it does come. That would be the day to do it. Okay. Church won't have too much to worry about with that anymore due to COVID. But at the end of the day, pretty much anywhere there's a large concentration of Black folks and Latino folks, I'll tell you too, you might want to limit where you're going. Beaches, limit them. Anywhere you're outside and in a open, be careful. If you see a white person with a jacket on, you know how hot it is out here. You got to use common sense. You see white folks with big backpacks, stay away from them. You see somebody acting erratic, angry for no reason, stay away from them. Chances are, if you're not ready to respond, chances are you need to treat every last one of them like they got a very high potential of being an active shooter this weekend. All of them.
Thank you, Brother Mon. I want to thank you so much, man, for taking out your time to come to educate the audience, as well as I want to thank you for all that you do, man, and please stay safe. And anything I can do to help, you got my number, man. Don't ever hesitate to call me, brother.
I said that last part again. I'm sorry, this signal is terrible.
I said, man, thank you for everything that you do, have done. Stay safe. And if there's anything that you need, don't hesitate.
Okay.
You have my number.
It's definitely a pleasure to be here again. And I'm sorry my signal's so bad, gentlemen. I really am. I could barely catch what was being said, but I thank you for the opportunity for me to be able to just get that brief out to the people so they can prepare themselves. Again, if you're licensed to carry this weekend, if you're licensed to carry, there's no reason from this weekend. I mean, matter of fact, tomorrow on moving forward, there's no reason that you should not have it on you. If you're not licensed to carry and you can be licensed to carry, you need to hurry up and get your doggone LTC. Okay? Or go to a class, do something. All right? If nothing happens this weekend, which I really hope not, if nothing happens this weekend, great. You need to go to the range. If you can find some ammo, get some ammo, go to the range and practice. Find one of your friends that has land. Ask them if they can shoot out there. Train a little bit. I don't mind training people still. I'm pretty sure the Huey P. Newton Gun Club doesn't mind either. At the same time, you got to reach out now because we're not going to reach out to you. We're training our troops. We getting ready. We have plenty of time to do this. And we reaching out, asking to train people for free. And they would not come. Now is the time. If you're going to do it, you need to do it and be consistent with it. Because if you're scared of guns now, you better get very used to them very fast. Because what's coming at you ain't scared of guns.
Right.
Your life is on the line right now. You need to train like your life depends on it because it does. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much, man. Be safe. And once again, if you need me, man, you got my number. Okay.
One more time, sir.
I said, once again, thank you very much, man. Stay safe. If anything you need from me, you got my number. Call me.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. And I thank y'all for y'all time. And again, I humbly apologize for the interference. I just couldn't catch half of the things that was being said, but at the end of the day, this was still a good discussion, and I'm glad to just be able to get the brief out.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Peace and blessings, man. Talk to you later.
Ashe, please.
Ashe. Want to thank everybody on Facebook that's watching, and thank you for your comments. Definitely thank you, Ernest, man. Yeah, he did have some good points. My boy down there, Colleen, what's up there, Chris? Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. He's right. And Sister Linnell, what's up? How you doing there? Everybody, thank you for tuning into the Real Man Talk Show. And once again, this is where we talk about problems and solutions. And I got my co-hosts, Matt Cowles and Sean Davis. And every Wednesday at 8 p.m., this is what we do. But next Wednesday, tune in, because I have a special show. Actually, the special show was supposed to be today, but we had to reschedule due to a last-minute actually, it was a good thing that came up. It was a last-minute thing that we had to change. So next week, listen in, because we're going to be talking about some of the things that we want the sisters to hear, as well as some of the things we want the brothers to hear. But the segment pretty much is talking about we want the sisters to hear what we got to say. Other than that, co-host, do y'all have any last words before we take off?
Only thing I can say to the people out there is for the next couple of months, skip buying those Jordans or that Louis Vuitton bag or that Gucci shirt or whatever the case may be, them 30-inch rims, and take that money and invest in some protection and things for your family to maintain your family.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. Excellent point. Mr. Cowles. Okay, I think he muted, but okay, he don't have anything. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody be safe. Once again, if you have any questions in regard to what we talked about, you can go to the channel, The Real Men Talk on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the channel. But if you got some questions in regard to self-defense, we have a lot of videos on there in regards to gun talk that we've been talking about all year, probably about 5 or 6 videos, as well as a black-owned gun dealer on there that actually sell guns as well. So thank you all very much. Peace and blessings, and we'll be seeing you all next week.